Exhausted a
No,
little
not
bit?
yet.
Okay,
Not at all.
okay,
Not at
good.
all.
Good, great. Thank you so much for joining me and chatting with me. I want to talk to you about Bandish Bandits because honestly, the trailer is fantastic.
Thank
You
you.
guys very promising. The chemistry looks fantastic. Tell me about the first meeting the two of you had and how did it go?
Hmm.
We actually met before Bandish Bandits for
Okay.
another project, which we both didn't end up doing. And it was a very brief meeting. It was just, hi, I'm Shreya, hi, I'm Ritwik, and that's about it. Like, it was literally like a 10-second conversation. And then after that, we've never met after that. And suddenly, I find myself in our production house, Still and Still Media's production house. And they were like, okay, you need to audition with this boy, Ritwik. So I was like, all right, cool. And suddenly I see Ritwik enter the room. And I'm like, I've seen him somewhere. And we both, when you look at somebody and you're like, I think I've seen this person, but you don't know where, maybe in some, some project or like an ad or something. And we're just like looking at each other really weird. And then suddenly it clicked. I don't remember who remembered first, but one of us remembered that, hey, we had met at that meeting. And then like we broke the ice with that actually. And yeah, that's how we met for the first time ever. And then the second time we met was when we got to know we both were doing the show. So I think from there on, yeah, we suddenly found ourselves becoming this team from being these awkward strangers who had like had a brief meeting. We suddenly like just happened to get along, which was great.
Ritwik, is that your recollection of the meetings as well?
Yes, it is. But very honestly, I remember before I could recognize who she is. What I did remember was I was introduced to her as Tamanna because she had already signed the show by then. I think
Yeah,
Oh,
by the time I was testing
yeah.
for it, and I was introduced to her as Tamanna, and at that point I just started reading and figuring out because I was still testing for it. So I was making up this notion of what would Tamanna look like or what would she be like, and I had this image in my head, and suddenly I meet this woman who's going to play Tamanna, and I look up from the script and I'm like, it's real. This is exactly what's in it. She's so well cast because if you read the script and you look at her, you feel like, who else but her? That was my first reaction when I met her. And then after I realized, oh, I've met you before.
Yeah,
And then we just went on to becoming the best of friends that we could.
yeah.
fantastic. The two of you play very different characters in the sense that they're very divergent from each other in terms of their headspace, the mindset, and their body language. How difficult or easy was it for you to get into that body language for your character? Shreya, you played the Manna, who's very free spirited. She seems to sort of just do what she wants to do. And maybe I'm reading too much into the trailer, but Radhe, for Ritwik, he's much more confined. He seems to live in his own little box. So how did you get into that headspace, and how alike or how similar are they to you in real life?
Actually, when both of us read our characters, Tamanna and Radhe, we felt like we're very different from our characters, and I speak for the two of
Okay.
us on this. But when I read like Tamanna in the entire script, I was just like, oh, okay, we're not similar at all. And like little things like Tamanna has a very strained relationship with her mother. Shreya has the most like I'm the closest to my mom. So these little things, there were certain things that I wouldn't understand, that why is she doing this, or they weren't very relatable. And all of that changed when Anand, my director, told me one day that Shreya, you have to be your character's defense lawyer. That's it. So whatever you're doing, do it
Mm.
with utmost conviction. You might question it, you might wonder why, but you believe in it. Period. So from that point on, I actually just stopped thinking about like, oh, how is she so similar to me, or is she different, or what can I pick up from Shreya, etc., etc., etc. I just started enjoying the process of playing that character. So there would, like you said, Tamanna is extremely free spirited. She is somebody who thrives on performing for a live audience. She loves composing music, and she has her goals very clear because she's an independent, self assured girl. She knows what she wants from it, and she's going to go and get that. So she has a bigger dream of becoming an international pop star. which is why she wants to collaborate with Radhe eventually, who's such a talented singer. So for her character, there was a lot of workshop that we got into, and like you said, because she is this free flowing, free spirited girl, my director kept telling me that you have to embody that confidence of being a pop star, because there is a reason people love her. It's either like people either look up to her because she is amazing at what she does. She might be a great performer to somebody. She might be very good with her hair and makeup and costume for somebody else. So there were all of these things. So he's like, you have to keep all of that in mind. And of course, it was like pretty new for me to be to play that character. But I had this great support system of a singing teacher. We had a great choreographer for the concert. We had a great styling team and hair and makeup team that really would transform me. And I'd suddenly, like, Tamanna has blue streaks, And it was really funny because I'd go on set as Shreya in my pony and like no makeup and enter my van. And suddenly I'd have these blue streaks clipped onto my hair. And I was Tamanna. I was suddenly Tamanna. So it was a very great experience actually. And I got to like learn.
You're missing out on the most important one. You had a great co-actor.
Yeah, my his name is Kunaal Roy Kapur. He plays my manager. So yeah.
Ritwik, what about for you? I mean, I do want to say when actors say they play somebody who's very different from who they are in real life, sometimes there's a takeaway and you take something positive from that character and you sort of imbibe it. Did that happen for you as well?
Absolutely. It's one of the most, I'll tell you, it was a very surprising revelation for me. I started off being very annoyed by the character of Radhe Rathore as a reader, as an audience. When I started reading him through the script, I just did not understand what was up with this guy. Why was he behaving this way? Or why would he say such things? Because we are from very different worlds. I live in Bombay and life is different than the life of people in Jodhpur, especially somebody who's brought up in this extremely strict traditional gharana. So I did not understand this boy at all. I thought he was rude. I thought he was stupid, and I thought he was egoistic until I really realized that one day Anand sir told me that instead of just keeping on questioning him, why don't you question yourself and figure out why do you say the things that you say? Why do you do the things that you do? Why are you so crazy about your performance? Why are you so obsessed with acting? Why do you want to do what you want to do in life? Figure out those answers and try and transform them or transport these answers to Radhe. And once I did that, I realized that the part of my, how people say the part of your brain that makes you love somebody is right next to the part that makes you hate someone. I realized that I was fishing in the wrong part. I actually love this boy. He is a part of me. He's a very important part of me. He's somebody that I've been earlier when I was in my early 20s. And there's a huge Radhe in me. There's so many qualities about Radhe that's in me. What I did take away from him is that he's so disciplined about his craft. He's so passionate about what he does and the kind of respect he has for his family, and he would go, I really don't want to give away much, but he would just go, just jump boundaries for his family, for his karana, for the people he loves, for his friends and guru. And I learned that from him, and hopefully I'll keep that quality in me for the rest of my life because I learned these qualities from a character that I played, and that's always going to be special. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm going to wrap it up shortly. Just one last question for you. What's the biggest thing you learned, Ritwik, from Shreya, and Shreya, vice versa? What did you learn from Ritwik during the process of shooting? Either a personality trait or being on set, acting. What did you learn from each other?
Now try and avoid a compliment, Shreya.
No, I'm just thinking I'm going to take a lot of time to answer that question.
Hey man, I already have answers ready. That's not fair.
I'm kidding. No, there's actually a lot of things because we got along so well, and we really, I think he plays such a big part in my journey of becoming Tamanna. Because Tamanna is kind of incomplete without Radhe. So it was really his support system that really helped me on a lot of days. And I even say this that even Ritwik, myself, and Anand, we became like this one team, But the one thing that really I've picked up from Ritwik personally is how kind he is as an actor. There were a lot of days, like I mentioned before as well, where because this is also new to me, there were a lot of days where I would probably not catch my light. I would be a little unaware of the camera, and there are particular spots you have to reach so that you're in focus. So all of these things, I would find it a little difficult to reach my mark, etc. And it was amazing how this person who I had just met, we'd barely known each other for a month. He was just so giving in the fact that he would somehow maneuver himself and like stand so that I would reach my mark, and that really, like, I really appreciate that, how kind he's been to me through this journey and through the shooting process.
I'm just watching this face.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is the right thing to say to him, because if I have to work with him tomorrow, like, he's just gonna be like I hope you continue being like this with everybody.
How
And for
sweet.
you,
How much of it
Ritwik?
was a lie? For me, honestly, I'm somebody who gets very easily distracted. Whether I in life or at work, I'm very easily distracted. Even though I've always come with my homework and I know that I'm going to do this today or do that today, but somebody cracks a joke, I've got to laugh before I give my shot. I'm very easily distracted. But that's one thing that I've learned from Shreya, that she's so focused. She's like a stallion in a race, and she's got blinders. All she wants to do is get to that finish line, and she does it so well. And I've really, really taken that from her, and hopefully in the project I do from here on, I'll be able to apply it. And I'm so happy that I found such a warm co-actor, who's so
Yeah.
giving, who's so supportive, and
God, I'm
hopefully,
gonna cry.
hopefully we share this relationship for the rest of our life. Yeah.
We've actually not
Fantastic.
gotten to meet each other either to celebrate Bandish, so it's just really lovely, doing this interview, because even we're like getting to meet, and it's amazing.
Nice. Shreya and Ritwik, thank you so much for your time. All the very best for Bandish
Thank you.
Bandits.
Thank you.
It looks fantastic, and I'm sure that it's going to deliver the way the trailer has delivered with, what is it, 14 million views at this point? Amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank
14
you.
million views last time I checked. So
That
congratulations
feels
and looking
great.
forward to it.
Thank
Lovely
you.
Thank you.
talking
Thank
to
you
both
so
of
much
you.
for having us.